Now we talk about buying an existing business. When considering to purchase an existing business, do not rush into a deal. Buyer must clarify the following before buying a business. It has been seen that while people are in the business or they want to purchase an already running business, they do things in a rush and they don't even go into the minute details. Whereas, in order to buy a business or in order to make, like, you are taking risks with your money, with your investment, so you should be very careful. If you think that a business which is already running, or so you have to see the following things, that this business is already running and now I am interested in buying this running business. There are certain things which we must do before you go for it. Number one, is the right type of business in the market which you intend to purchase? That means you must know the business which you intend to purchase is the right type of business, or that is the business which will give you good profit margin. Another thing, what experience you have in this particular business, because if you are buying a business where you yourself do not have sufficient experience, you will definitely have a failure in it in the longer run. You will face problems in it. What is the company's potential for success? This is another important point, that you must see the company's potential for success. That how much success rate or a chance is there. Then what changes will you have to make to get full potential in the business? It is important for you to realize that in order to make this business go for its full potential, or to make this more effective, what changes or modification you have to make. What price and mode of payments are reasonable for you and acceptable for the seller. So always make a sort of agreement between you and the seller on the price and the mode of payment. That is, that I'll make down payment of maybe 20%, and over the year I will make small payments of 10% and will make the full payment within 1 year. Things like that are to be discussed and agreed upon between both the buyers and the seller. Then, will the company generate sufficient cash and leave you a suitable rate of return? Because this is very important for you to know that how much cash you can generate from this business, or is the suitable rate of return on your investment, the total investment you are making on this business, will it be given in the shape of a good return on your investment, and how much your cash generation is expected from this business. Then, should you be starting a business and building it from the ground up rather than buying an existing one? This is also very important, that while you are going to buy a business, that are you going to start it from the scratch or right from the ground, or rather than you buy a business where it is already having some say or reputation in the market and now you are buying it as an existing business. There are certain advantages of buying an existing business. For example, successful existing business often continue to be successful. 2. Superior location. 3. Employees and suppliers are in place. 4. Installed equipment with known production capacity. 5. Inventory in place. Then trade credit is established. Then turnkey business. New owner can use experience of previous owner. Easier access to financing. High value. So each of these advantages we now see one by one. For example, we talk about the successful existing business because if a business is successful and you are going to buy that, there are chances, heavy chances, that this successful business will continue to be successful and you do not have to do extraordinary work in order to make it successful. Although it is never possible that you do a business or you even purchase a business for which you don't have to work hard. You have to work very hard. Then we talk about the superior location. Since the business is already existing, people know about it, the location is superior or it is good because the previous people or owner must have chosen a location which is good and convenient to the customers. Then we talk about employees and suppliers are in place. That means we already have a team of people who are trained and who know about this business. They are there. And suppliers are also known to us because they are regular suppliers of the raw materials or other requirements. Installed equipment with known production capacity. Obviously, the machinery and equipment which is already installed in that business has a known capacity, so the production capacity is known to you. Inventory in place means that you already have some inventory or some stocks in place, so you don't have to run here and there for stocking or for building inventory. Trade credit is established when a business is already in the working, already existing. It has a credit facility which is known and which is established because of the old owners or previous owners. The turnkey business. Turnkey business means that the business is already successful. All you need to do is just push in a little investment and go ahead. New owner can use experience of previous owner. In many cases, what new owners do, they hire the previous owner as a consultant and take advantage of his or her experience and make this business more suitable and more workable and profitable. Easier access to financing because the business is already established, people already know about it, so it is easier to get the financing for this business. High value means that since people know about this business, they give it a high value and you don't have to build a reputation once and again. The disadvantages of buying an existing business. Number one, cash requirement. Maybe the previous owner could not manage good cash or was not able to fully understand the cash requirements, so you'll have to make good cash requirements and you'll have to develop the funding of this business. Then the business is losing money. Another important point or disadvantage of buying a business is that the business might have been losing money. So they are not on the profit side, they are on the loss side. So when you will take this business, you must take the liabilities along with that. Paying for ill will. Ill will means that the will or the goodwill of the business is not there. People may have a bad name or a stigma connected to this business. So they may say that, oh, this business had been very bad, the people were not good. So you have to rebuild the goodwill. Employees inherited with the business may not be suitable. This happens many times that the business becomes a failure due to the people or the team which is working for this business. So you'll have to re-employ people. You may have to get new people and train them once again. Unsatisfactory location. Sometimes the location of the business is not convenient to the client. As a result, the business becomes a loss business rather than a profitable business. Obsolete or inefficient equipment and facilities. This means that the business in which you are now in, it already had outdated machinery or inefficient equipment, or the facilities being given to the customer were not up to the standard. They were maybe older type facilities. Challenge of implementing change. That means that the business you are now taking, it has lot of challenges with it, and you have to change things in order to make it worthy. Obsolete inventory, that means that the stocks the last or the previous owners had, these inventories were outdated, they were not worthy. Then we talk about worthless account receivable. So the business was going in a loss. What account receivable were either debt accounts or they were of no use. Like for receiving those accounts, you might have to do more, or you may have to run more after receiving that account than the benefits you will grow from it. Business may be overpriced. It is another important thing that you are buying a business and the person or the previous owner is asking for too much for the business, so you must be very, very clear. The steps in acquiring a business. Buying an existing business can be risky if approached haphazardly. To avoid blowing a deal, an entrepreneur should follow these 7 steps. 1. Conduct a self inventory, objectively analyzing skills, abilities, and personal interests to determine the types of business that offer the best fit. Unless you do your own like self inventory, or you like understand and determine that what skills and abilities you have as an entrepreneur for buying this business, is this suitable, is this right for it? Then develop a list of the criteria that define the ideal business for you. Then what we say, that develop a list of criteria. You must always design and write down the points which are needed in order to make this business ideal for you. Thirdly, prepare a list of potential candidates that meet your criteria. Here, candidate means that the type of businesses or chances you have in the market. So, see clearly and very carefully that is this business suitable for you, or you go for the second type of business, or maybe you go for another type of business, or maybe you invest your money by using your own new product line rather than you buy an existing business. So, fourth, we say that thoroughly investigate the potential acquisitions targets that meet your criteria, because you have to do business on your terms. So, if you are buying an existing business, you must very clearly investigate and see the potential that if you buy this business, what should be the criteria, how you are this business is going to help you out, how this business will be suitable for you. Then, number five, explore various financing options for buying the business. When we say various financing options, because while you are into investment, while you are wanting to put in money, you must know that from where you will arrange money and what are the options for you. Will you get finance from the bank at an interest rate, or will you get finance from somebody else, maybe some of your friends, or maybe some of your colleagues, your relatives? or you are going to take finance on behalf of this existing business, then negotiate a reasonable deal with the existing owner. Whenever you are trying to buy an existing business, you must negotiate it very well with the existing owner, because if you are not being reasonable, you are the one who will be crying in the longer run. Ensure a smooth transition of ownership. It is also very important that the ownership should be very, very smooth. Then we analyze your skills, ability, and interest. The first step in buying a business begins by conducting self audit to determine the ideal business for an entrepreneur. Following questions are important. Number one, develop a list of, when we say that analyzing, that means that you should ask yourself that am I the right person? Then develop a list of criteria. Whenever you are putting yourself for buying a new business, you should write, or you should make a list of criteria. What are your requirements? What should you do in order to purchase this business? What is the profit margin you are looking forward to? Prepare a list of potential candidates. That means you should give a very, very crystal clear plan for the type of opportunities or the type of businesses you are interested in. So, out of a list of maybe five, six businesses, you go and narrow down it to maybe two only. And after these two, you then see that which is the most favorable to you. Then it is investigate and evaluate potential companies. It is called the due diligence process. Is when you are looking at the potential companies, maybe you say that you will be better settled with a car company, automobile company. You have your interest in it. You have a good margin or a good finance available to you. You have a finance line available through a bank that you can go for millions business. But if you think that your finance line is in a few 100,000 rupees, you cannot go for big business. But you may set up a business which is for cottage industry, for example, a small industry where you can start your tailoring shop. For all these things, you'll have to deeply look into the business, where you stand and what margin or what is the rate of return on your investment. Exploring financing options is another very important factor. When we say exploring financing options, that means an entrepreneur must be clear that is he going to get the financing from some of his friends, fellows, colleagues, family, or he will have to take the finance from some financial institutions who are sitting in the market? They do finance the businesses, but there is an interest rate which may be high, or maybe they ask for some share in your total business. So you'll have to make your arrangements very carefully, that will you be able to give them a part of the cake you are going to eat, or will you be able to give them just a part of the interest? So keeping in view all this, you'll have to make financing options. Negotiate a reasonable deal with the owner. It is very important that all the time you need to negotiate deals with the owner. Another important thing when we talk about the existing business is you have to ask a few questions as an entrepreneur. Is you enjoy most and why you enjoy them most? You know, each person, each individual has a different way of looking at things. Your perspective may be different from your another fellow. Similarly, in the same family, if there are two brothers who are having same amount of money and they both want to take business, it is not necessary that they enjoy same type of business. So keeping in mind, you must see that what business activities you enjoy most. Then which industry or markets offer the greatest potential for growth. That means when you look into the market analysis, it says that you have to make it clear that the market you are going to choose is the one which has more potential for you. Thirdly, which industry interests you most. That is also important, that you go for an industry. It is almost similar to your first question, where we say that business activities you enjoy most. Similarly, the industry you are interested in, like maybe you are more interested in the IT industry, whereas another person is more interested in the food chain industry, third person. So then, what kind of business would you enjoy running? This is also a similar question. That what type of business? Maybe you are in a business where you want to sit just behind a computer and you do the software management from here to other companies. You provide software solution. So, how much time, energy, and money you can put in the business? This is another very important question. That how much time, energy, and money. That how much time you are going to spend on this business? How much energy you think you have? Maybe you are capable of working beyond 8 hours, maybe 10 hours to 14 hours you can work for your business. What business skills and experience do you have? Another important thing is your own experience, your own skills. And then another thing is what business skills you lack. You must know that there are certain skills, certain things which you lack. So, in order to make yourself capable of running this business, you should improve upon your own skills. You must be like to which are required for this specific business. Then the question is, are you willing and capable of turning around the struggling business? This is important. Sometimes this is very challenging, that you change the shape of the business by your own abilities, by your willingness. What size of company do you want to buy? The size of company means that are you wanting to go for a company with 50 employees and a sum of around 10 million, or maybe you are not satisfied with it, or you lack the funds and you want to go for a company which is having just 5 employees and you can work with 2 million. Keeping all this in mind, you have to make your decision. Is there any geographic location you desire? Location matters a lot, and it is your interest as well. That there are certain businesses which are not good in the downtown, whereas in suburban areas you find a better workforce who is more economical. That is, they ask for less money than those who are working in the main town. Now we talk about the develop a list of criteria based on the answers to the self inventory questions. Develop a list of criteria that a potential business acquisition must meet. Identify the ideal business for you so that you can focus on it. Prepare a list of potential candidates. Many businesses that can be purchased are not advertised as for sale. This is known as hidden market. Hidden market is low profile companies that might be for sale but are not advertised as such. How can you tap into this hidden market of potential acquisition? Typical sources include the following: the internet, where several sites are available with listings of business brokers and companies for sale. Then business brokers, they always help you in making this detail for you that the so and so business is for sale, or professional who provide business services such as bankers, accountants, attorneys, investment bankers, and others. These professionals give you an idea that which company is about to be sold out, or how you can buy X type of company. Then industry contacts, suppliers, distributors, customers, insurance brokers, they all are good source for finding out about the business. Networking, social and business contacts with friends and relatives. Sometimes these friends or relatives also tell you about that Mr. A is selling his business, or he is interested in selling off because he is wanting to maybe move abroad to some other country, or in some cases it is not moving abroad, it is the matter of finance. He is running short of finance, so he needs somebody to purchase company from him so that he can sell out his business. Knocking on the doors of businesses you might like to buy. This is another way that you just keep on watching and moving and visiting people whom you want to like purchase their business, or whom from whom you want to buy their business. Trade associations, newspapers, trade journals, they all give you list of business for sale. When we talked about the due diligence process, it implies that you once have a list of prospective candidates, you must investigate the candidates in more detail. What are companies' strengths and weaknesses? See, we are now talking about the SWOT analysis, and the first part of SWOT analysis is S, and then it is W. S means strength. You have to see the strength of the business or the company. Then W, that is weakness of the company. Is the company profitable? What is the overall financial condition? What is its cash flow cycle? How much cash will the company generate? You know, these things are important. When you look at any company, if you are interested in buying, you must know that what are the strengths of this company, what are the positive parts about this company. Then, who are the major competitors? Like, you must know in the market that who are the people who have similar type of product or services available, and how much is their strength. How large is the customer base? Is it growing or shrinking? Are the current employees suitable? Will they stay? Another very important question when you are talking about buying an existing business is the current employees, people who are already working, the team. If the team is not good, not efficient, not effective, then obviously you'll have the challenge of changing the team. You will have to work very hard, find out those people who are more efficient, what new is learn to be able to manage this business successfully. That means that you need to know the skills you possess